Hello and welcome to the third part of the Introduction to the Award in Education and Training online. I'm Annie Weir, owner-manager of Evita Learning, the training company I set up in 2004. So today I want to tell you why you would want to do this course with me as opposed to anybody else. So in other words, what do I know? Well, there are three main reasons why you might like to do this course with me. The first is that I have experience in teaching this qualification and others like it. I was actually the first centre in Cumbria to offer it 4 years ago, and I was featured in the local paper. Now, the reason for being featured in the local paper was that one of my students has her own business offering PR services, and in her micro-teach session to the others on the course, she taught them how to write a press release, then took a photograph of us all, and that's what ended up in the paper. And prior to that, to this qualification, it was called Preparing to Teach in the Lifelong Learning Sector, PETALS, and I taught that for 4 years before AET. And I've also run the certificate in education and training for people whose job is mainly teaching or training adults. It's a much longer course, much more in depth, much more observation in the workplace. Okay, so that's a bit about my experience. I'm also qualified. After a lot of years with no academic study and gradually growing into a training role at work, I realised that I needed a qualification. I first of all did an MVQ level 4 in training and development, and then I topped it up at Hartlepool College, which was where I lived then, to a certificate in education and training, and then I went on to do a final year to convert it to a BA honours degree in education and training. Well, by that time I had got the learning bug and straight away enrolled to do a master's and MA in education. Okay, so experienced and qualified. What else? I said there were three, but you will see from my qualifications that I love learning, and I love learning about learning. I also have 2 coaching diplomas and a mentoring certificate, so I'm able to teach and support my learners in different ways. I love to see my learners succeed, so I am flexible in my teaching style to make sure they gain as much as possible from my courses. I really enjoy the whole process, so it isn't stuffy, it's fun as well as educational. And a fairly experienced trainer who completed just this month actually said in his post-course feedback, "I've enjoyed the course and I'm happy to work with Annie again." And he has in fact worked with me before on a different qualification as well. An example of flexibility I can offer was with a lady who I should call KB, who's just completed as well. And she said, "I'd like to say thank you so much for your flexibility and support. I'm pleased that I managed to achieve this, even in tricky circumstances with a new job and recent poor health." So that shows that I can be flexible. I extended her time on the course actually. She moved from an earlier course to the one that's just finished. And Victoria, who completed in July last year, said at the time, "Annie has been very supportive and knowledgeable throughout, and that made it enjoyable and has encouraged me to do more learning." So well done, Victoria, and that makes me very happy. So this online course is great because studying alone is difficult, and so is staying motivated. So we have live Q&A sessions and email support throughout. They're built in, so you don't have to feel like you're studying alone. The course does give structure with deadlines and flexibility when needed, as I said before, to move steadily through. But as it is online, you get to choose when you access the learning materials to work through, and they are yours to keep. So a final word from Pippa, who completed early in 2016. So again, she was one of the early ones on the online, and I know she has continued to run her silk painting workshops. Blushes. She said, "Absolutely fantastic trainer, role modelling all that we've been learning, approachable, engaging, fun and understanding, and one of the best trainers I've ever had the privilege of being taught by." She was talking about me, by the way. So, wow, praise indeed, and thank you so much, Pippa. Okay, so don't forget this course is also for you if you're considering making training part of your work. You don't need to be in a training role yet. Visit my website, evitalearning.co.uk/AET-on-line for a detailed description of the course and to access a free taster session lifted directly from the course. And that has no obligation. You don't have to put your credit card details in, anything at all. Just feel free to have a go. I'll send out a reminder of when the registration is closing in the next week. And so I will just say goodbye for now. Bye.